Learning the secrets of ancient China is realizing they have more pyramids than anywhere in the world. More than Egypt, they might even have the biggest one in history, dwarfing both Giza and the infamous Bosnian pyramid. This is gonna shatter your entire view of history. Warning, Philip is a professional mind blower. The topics discussed are not for the closed-minded. Found just outside the city of Xi'an in China's Shaanxi province are hundreds of pyramids dating back thousands of years old. And on record, pretty much all of them are unexplored to preserve their history. First brought to light in 1912 when American traders Fred Meyer Schroeder and Oscar Mammon were traveling across China, when they met a Taoist priest along the route who told them about 7 previously unknown pyramids they decided to check out. In his diary, Schroeder wrote about a group of pyramids they saw in the Xi'an region that towered between villages and farmland, some even in the forest. He documented everything, noting a particularly enormous one that he claimed to be at least 1,000 feet in height, possibly higher. For the record, the tallest official pyramid in the world is the Great Pyramid of Giza at 450 feet. The tallest unofficial one, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, at 720 feet, which will definitely trigger the Google debunkers. This one in China was allegedly more than twice the height of Giza, which is just unimaginable. It was a mystery for quite a while, thought to be a hoax or a grand miscalculation. But then, in 1945, US Air Corps pilot James Gossman makes an interesting observation. He was flying from China to India when he looks out his window and claims to have seen a gigantic pyramid about 1,000 feet high, with a shimmering white jewel-like crystal as its capstone, which thus became known as the mythical Great White Pyramid. Just 2 years later, in 1947, Colonel Maurice Sheehan, a director of Transworld Airlines, reported the exact same structure while flying and even took a photo of it. That's 3 separate accounts of the same 1,000-foot pyramids, surrounded by hundreds of smaller ones. Today, almost all of these pyramids are completely covered in grass, and we still don't know what's inside them or even exactly how they were made. Most of them are pretty low, commonly referred to as mounds rather than pyramids, featuring flat tops where other structures were thought to have been built on. And these mounds are confirmed by governments and archaeologists to be legitimate man-made structures, not natural formations. There are hundreds of these pyramid mounds in the region, yet they're almost entirely unexplored. At least to Westerners, as their government restricts study, excavation, and even visiting many of these structures to anyone but their inner circle, with the 1,000-foot Great White Pyramid now commonly regarded as a myth, as no one has formally been able to study it up close. But attempts have been made. In the early 90s, German investigator Hartwig Hausdorff did search for it, but was unsuccessful. As he reported, Chinese military meticulously patrolling the exact region it was supposed to be in, which ended his expedition. Strangely too, local farmers are apparently encouraged to plant trees on the pyramids, almost like they're trying to cover them up. In the year 2000, China released a statement saying they've discovered about 400 pyramids in the Shaanxi province alone. Egypt has about 120 confirmed pyramids. Sudan, the official leader of pyramids by sheer numbers in the world, about 250. 400 is more than both of those combined, although many of them are officially considered mounds. Strangely too, while dozens of official news articles reported on this 400 number in 2000, recent reports have scaled that number down to about 40. And the pyramids here are once again lined up with the cardinal directions, northeast, southwest, a common trait among virtually every pyramid in the world. There's a grouping of pyramids whose positioning appears to be just slightly misaligned from the Gemini constellation, but computer analysis determined would be perfectly aligned during the spring equinox of 10,500 BC, suggesting that's when they may have been built. Others are aligned with the Orion constellation, just like the pyramids of Giza in Egypt and the Teotihuacan pyramids in Mexico. 3 different continents, thousands of kilometers apart, all using similar construction patterns, and also happen to be aligned in an almost perfectly straight line with each other on a global scale. Is this an indicator of shared ancient cultural knowledge among these civilizations that we're not aware of? Or perhaps even a singular source that built them all, both of which would be groundbreaking discoveries. And this isn't the first time this correlation was made. In 1785, Joseph de Guines, a French historian, wrote an essay in which we prove the Chinese are an Egyptian colony, bridging a connection between the two cultures based on not only the presence of pyramids, but also similarities in cultural practices and writing styles. Remember, these are all just theories, but please kindly do share your opinions if you disagree. Maybe they were built as tombs, as history suggests, even though many of them lack historic records on their construction. And this doesn't even touch upon the Anlong Mountains further south, which they insist are just natural formations, and like, okay buddy. And the problem is, with their country's restrictions, we can't even go in and study the pyramids pyramids of Xi'an ourselves if we wanted to. So much of our world's history is guarded by the red tape of the governments whose countries these sites are found in. Everything we claim to know is simply just what they allow to be made public. If there ever was some previous advanced civilization that existed here tens, even hundreds of thousands of years ago that got wiped away by some worldwide cataclysm, do you really think those in charge would let that information go public and risk losing all their power in the worldwide panic that would follow? Like, if it happened to them, who were allegedly more advanced than us, then what's stopping it from happening again to us?